Hello friends, welcome to the Wednesday show. Today we're going to talk about an often underrated tool by many woodworkers and do-it-yourselfers, and that is actually the circular saw. A circular saw is a safer tool than a table saw because as you move, you go, and every time we record something happens. Garage doors open and cars coming, that's okay. A circular saw is safer than a table saw because you cut away from you and that limits the danger. However, it doesn't mean that it's an extremely, all tools have some, I don't know why I keep saying mean, but all tools have some level of difficulty, of danger built into them. No difficulty. But this is better, and if you don't want to spend the money to buy a table saw, which tends to be in the above $200 range, you can actually find a circular saw for around $40 or $50, right? Mm-hmm. So today we're going to talk about this often forgotten staple of the tool shop arsenal. So this happens to be what I would consider an entry-level saw. This has 19 teeth, which means it is a rough cutting edge. This is to cut 4x4s and so forth, but like a table saw, you can change the amount of teeth that the blade has. In other words, you can change the blade, you can put a fine blade and so forth. Now, one of the ways you can check, I showed before on the table saw, how to check that your blade is straight. You can use again your trusty, I don't know, can you come here? And this is reasonably straight. I see a little bit of a deviation, but not much there. As you can see, there is a little bit here. So let's move the blade and see if it is just the positioning of the blade or there is a strong deviation, but still this is a fairly straight blade. I wouldn't worry, this is just probably a thousandth or something like that. You can also, if you don't have a square, you can put your blade next to a surface like this and you can see that it really aligns very well. Now you notice me moving this, and this is the guard. The guard is designed for two reasons. One of the main reasons is to avoid this. You just finish the cut and you bring the saw back. If I was to do that and the guard was inactivated, I will have a very nasty cut, right? A lot of guys like to inactivate those guards, and I'm not in favor in this process. Also, like table saws, these saws have directional blades, so the teeth of the blade need to look at the direction of the cut, and in this specific saw the direction of the cut is very clearly marked, but most, if not all, saws cut towards you as you look at the saw. And again, this is the safety blade, and if you want to do a planche cut, you can actually do planche cut with these saws. That's the only time that I would ever use a saw like this without the blade on. And in order to do a planche cut, now different saws will have different mechanisms. This has a very good mechanism, I think. It has a little, can you see the lever? Mm-hmm. So you release that level, and that allows the saw to move, or doesn't. Maybe I have it unlocked. Did I have it unlocked? So as you can see here, I could do a planche cut. I don't have anything to planche cut, but can you see from there? Mm-hmm. So you put it like that and go down, and I will bring it here on the edge to see it. Do you want to go in front?
I can see it.
Okay. So by not tightening it again, you can make a planche cut, and this is the same mechanism that allows you to choose the depth of the saw. Like a table saw, you want your saw to be just a tad longer. You want the teeth to be just above the surface that you want to cut. Again, think of this as an upside down table saw, right? And then using the same lever here, now I've locked it, and you can see that the saw has stayed in the depth we had it. So it can go to many locations, and most saws, if not all, will also have another adjustment, and in this saw is right here, and that allows you to pivot and make 45s or any other. As you can see, that moves quite a lot, and I think that is a 45 there. I cannot read it. Yeah, that's a 45, right? I don't know, is it visible?
The top number is a 45.
So if you go all the way on to there is a 45, and that has a scale. Now, a lot of people will say, okay, these are good for rough work, but they're not really good for fine cutting work. And this is somewhat true. It's not necessarily true. You can pair most of those saws with a device like this, and this goes here. And then there is a screw here to hold it. You tighten the screw and then you hold it, and you have this distance. Now if you have a straight edge and you want to create a board that it is straight on both sides, as long as you keep that to your board, you can move your saw and that will make a perfectly straight cut. Some saws come with this, and this is just a set I have that is universal. It has different widths for different saws. Finally, this specific one has a laser, and here it has an adaptable, an adjustable, I don't know if you can see it, can you? You can untie this screw and move where that points, so you know exactly where the laser is.
Mm-hmm.
In this specific saw, actually, I think it's very good. I don't remember if you can see the laser. I'll plug it in for a moment.
Yeah, there's the laser.
And as you can see, it's very dead on. Is that visible?
Mm-hmm.
So this one has a very good laser. And if you were cutting, as you can see, we have a very good visual representation of where our cut is. So I couldn't remember. So this, once you plug it in, the laser is on, and then it remains on for the duration of the cut. So, and look how good the laser is. I mean, look, it's perfect on the edge, right?
Yep.
I mean, in fact, I have a hard time. I have to press it for you guys to see it, but there.
But it's along the edge of that workbench, so yeah.
So I've spent some time. You do need to spend some time to make this, but if you set it correctly, then you have a very well-defined laser line. Again, for safe operations, do not defeat this. I know a lot of guys like to remove them. I totally am against it. If you want to hold it up for whatever reason, to make a planche cut or for something else, I understand, and I do that on occasion, but you have to be extremely careful. This is a dangerous tool, and again, notice I haven't plugged it. I don't even want to do it plugged, even with the edge. But you can see how easily you finish the cut, and you see how easily that can come in touch with your skin, and you can imagine how much damage a blade like this will do. So I like to store mine thusly, so it is safe, nothing protrudes, and you can store it sitting down, sitting level. This specific one has an on-off switch, and then it has a variable trigger. It is underneath. It's fairly well designed. Now there are more professional build ones. I like this one because I can hold it this way and you can really work very securely with this specific tool. And I would definitely say, for the beginning woodworker, a laser circular saw, in my opinion, should be their first tool, because it is cheap, and also because it is less dangerous than a table saw. This happened to be a Black & Decker. This is the only one I have. Aren't you surprised?
I am.
I do need to find another one. I want to increase the stable of my cordless tools. So I'm going to look in the companies that I have. It has to be a Rigid, a Ryobi, or a Cobalt, because these are the three brands. Well, that's not true. I also have Black & Deckers. But I prefer the three ones that I mentioned more than Black & Decker. Even though this is a very good saw, I've had this saw for years, has never let me down. It has been a great experience. So this is our short Wednesday saw. I do hope that you enjoyed it. And as always on Wednesdays, I've decided to do tips and tricks and tool reviews. Did I say tips and tricks again?
No. Tips and tricks.
Tips and trips. Stop it.
I said tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks and tool reviews and how-to videos, and then reserve the weekends for build videos. So join us next Wednesday for more information about tools, and this Sunday for another build. If you like this video, please smash the like button. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Share, subscribe in order to be able to participate in our giveaways, and comments. Again, for our September giveaway, which is for the 600 subscribers.
No, 800.
No, the September is for the 6. We're approaching 800.
Okay.
We haven't even done the 700 because we started growing in.
Okay.
And what is happening now, this little off-camera discussion with a person you cannot see, is because we're already at almost 770 subscribers. So we are doing now the 600, and then almost immediately we're going to do the 700, and we might actually do 2 giveaways, 700 and 800 combined, because there is a chance that we'll hit the 800 before the end of the month. If we continue at the rate that we are now, I don't know. And in that case, I will either do 2 giveaways, or I'm going to do a bigger giveaway. Kind of combined, not as big as the 500 or the 1000, but something a little more elaborate or expensive or something like that. But in order to participate, in order to be able to be eligible for that, you do have to be a subscriber, you do have to hit that like button, and you do have to leave me a comment. Even if the comment will be, hey, I would like that giveaway, I don't care what the comment is. But the engine that chooses the winner can only do it. I use the two-body engine to choose the winner, and cannot do it unless you have a comment. I mean, I try to be safe and not play favorites and not just choose a person. And the only way I know how to do it that way is to use two-body. So leave a comment if you want to be considered. And you won't be considered, again, because the way of the two-body engine works, if you're not a member. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, why you haven't subscribed yet? Let us know what you would like to see in this channel. I think so far our growth has been really good this year, don't you think? So we must be doing something right, I hope. And we will see you Sunday with another build, and next Wednesday with another set of tips and hacks and tricks, or a how-to or a tool comparison or something like that. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on Sunday.
Don't say that.
I got a dirty look.
Don't say that.
I hope the rest of your week is great. How about that?
Okay.
See you.